Hi, my name is Kristin Hope and welcome to my YouTube channel.
Hey guys, so this week I thought I would talk about vocal health. Last Saturday I did a lot of singing, and I have been on vocal rest for a week now. Today's the first day that I've been able to talk and it just be clear and feel good. So it wasn't until last week that I realized just how much effort goes into vocal health and in preparing for kind of a strenuous performance, and the amount of singing while consistently singing that much. So last week I probably sang for a total of over maybe 13 hours in 4 days. Yeah. I sang Thursday evening for 3 hours, 4 hours. I sang Friday evening for about 3 hours or so, and then I sang Saturday for about 4. And my voice was holding up pretty good. Before that, I had went on vocal rest because I had a 4-hour rehearsal this 2 Saturdays ago before last Saturday's performance. And I had a vocal rest because I sang for 4 hours, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I didn't even realize I was singing for that long. I was just in rehearsal, and I didn't even realize it. And luckily I got my voice back on Thursday just soon enough to get started on that amount of singing throughout the weekend. So yeah, it's extremely important to take care of your voice, and this video is just what you can do to kind of, if you have vocal fatigue. A lot of these are also good to know in preparation for performance so you don't have vocal fatigue or laryngitis. So the first tip is simply just resting your voice. Don't talk. Literally, I have probably talked for a total of maybe, I don't know, if you took everything that I've said this entire week, I've probably only talked for a total of 2 hours. It's been rough. People that know me know that I'm actually relatively quiet and that I don't talk that much, but for those that I'm around all the time, I talk a decent amount. So it's just been hard not to talk, but it's extremely important to not talk when your voice is hoarse and it's just tired, and that's simply because your vocal folds are inflamed and they are swollen just because of overuse or lack of proper technique. And so for me this last weekend, I would say that, when you're performing, some of your technique kind of goes out the window. I would say though, I was probably singing 60 to 70% correctly, technique-wise, which is pretty good. It's a goal of mine to get better, but it was purely due to overuse. I had to sing Sunday morning for church, and I was doing pretty okay up until that point. That morning, my voice felt pretty okay. It was just kind of really deep, and I probably just needed to go on vocal rest. And I had to push myself because I had to lead worship that morning. And after that, I'd only sung 4 songs, but they were pretty challenging. And the rest of that evening and the rest of this week has just been... So the ideal situation was that I would have went on vocal rest maybe for 2 days, and it would have been fine if I just went and had to sing after that last Saturday, but that just wasn't the case. So vocal rest, super important. Gotta get those inflamed vocal folds time to unswell and uninflame and just to heal. Tip 2, I always do this. This is 4. Tip 2. Tip 2 is just drink plenty of water. I know you probably hear this for everything. How to lose weight, drink water. How to clear your skin, drink water. How to grow hair, drink water. How to grow out your nails, drink water. How to just be a healthy human being, drink water. It's no different here. You have to drink water. You have to hydrate the vocal folds. It's so important. You guys know this. Water is integral to anything that you want to do and stay healthy. So drink tons of water. I probably drank over a gallon consistently for the past 2 weeks. And I know that seems like a lot of water, but now that I've kind of forced myself to drink that much because I know that I need to hydrate my vocal folds, I'm just thirsty all the time, and it's not uncommon for me to drink over a gallon these days. So yeah, drink your water. It's very important. The next thing, tip 3 or whatever, would be to drink hot tea with honey. Caffeinated beverages dry out your throat and your vocal folds, so it's important to try and find a decaffeinated tea. So the honey kind of just soothes the throat, and then warm beverages just kind of relax those muscles and make them feel good. It's the same concept of putting hot heating pads on sore muscles after a football game or whatever. It's really good to just warm those vocal folds up, try and relax them. Another thing that you can do is drink or eat. Do you eat it or drink it? I guess you're still drinking it, right? It would be broth. I am plant-based, so I do vegetable broth. I know that me and my husband ate out at a pho noodle house a lot this past week, and I would just get a pho and I would just slurp up that broth real good because it's warm and it does the same type of thing that tea does. So if you don't like tea, maybe try, drinking some vegetable broth or something like that, and spice it up and put some veggies in it and things like that and make it taste good. It's just good food in general. So yeah, try that. The next thing that I would say is to use a steamer. Goodness gracious, I don't know, like, I feel like it's a placebo effect type thing, but like anytime that I use a steamer, I'm just like, oh, so much better, The thing about steamers is that they are hydrating your voice and your vocal folds through, that steam. It's warm, kind of like the hot tea and the broth. It's this warm moisture that you're giving to your vocal folds. And so what you typically want to do is you can like kind of section it up throughout the day. You can steam your face like 5 minutes 3 times a day or something like that, or you can just sit down and do it 10 minutes at one time. The important thing to know is that after you steam, it's really important not to talk for 20 to 30 minutes just to make sure that your vocal folds, get a break with all that, hot steam. It's good for your vocal folds, but you can kind of counteract that if you talk too soon after you do it. The next thing, or tip 5, would be lozenges. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Lozenges. Yes. Basically, that is like Halls, Ricola, just like cough droppy type stuff. I don't recommend Halls. I mean, I guess Ricola's not too much better either. You'll get a lot of people on the fence about this. They'll be like, oh, you shouldn't do that because it'll dry out your vocal folds. But then on the other hand, a lot of people are like, go ahead and do it. Just make sure that you don't talk or you don't sing, because it does really dry out your vocal folds. A lot of cough drops or lozenges, or however you say that word, contain something called menthol, and that's kind of like a numbing agent, and so that's why a lot of people like to suck on cough drops when their throat is sore. It kind of numbs it and takes the pain out of it, but it really dries out our throat and our vocal folds. So it's really important to just be mindful of when you're using them. Make sure you're not talking, make sure you're not singing, but they will kind of soothe the throat and the vocal folds if you do suck on them. And I wouldn't be mentioning this to you if I wasn't on the side of people saying, yes, you can suck on them, just make sure that you're not singing or talking when you're using them. Tip number 6 would be ibuprofen or acetaminophen. I think that's how you say it. Basically, ibuprofen and Tylenol are inflammatories and like pain relievers. So if your throat's really hurting you and you want to take something to kind of relieve that, you can take those. They also help the swelling to go down in your vocal folds. Here's the catch: these also can dry out your throat, so it's extremely important to use them and allow time for them to work. So do not talk when you take these. Don't talk, don't sing, don't anything. They're really helpful. They really do. Like, I remember my vocal folds were swollen so much, I think on Tuesday night, that like it was so hard to just like swallow. Like, I literally felt like I couldn't breathe. I popped in 200 milligram ibuprofens, and within, 15 minutes, I was able to like swallow a little bit. So they do work. It's just important that you allow them to really truly help you by not talking and singing at all. My last tip would be to gargle with salt water. Salt is really good for that inflammation, pulling inflammation out of things. It's really helpful, anytime that you have a sore throat or, you have vocal fatigue and laryngitis, it's really good to gargle salt water. It's very, very helpful. It does not taste very good at all, but it's very, very helpful. So consider gargling salt water. So just an overall statement about the voice. Our vocal folds are muscles. So like any other part of our body, muscles can be overused, overworked. We can pull them in a wrong way when we're not doing something correctly. The same is true of vocal folds. We can pull them the wrong way. We can overuse them if we're not singing correctly. Most of the time we can mess it up and put a lot of strain on it. So it's very important to know your limits. For me, I think my biggest thing wasn't necessarily technique. It was more so I had never sung that much consistently before, and just like muscles in a gym, you can't lift 300 pounds if you didn't lift 100 pounds before that continuously for a certain amount of time, or and then built up to 200 pounds and so on and so forth till you get to 300 pounds. And I just have not trained myself to be able to sing that long for that amount of period of time. So it's really important to know your limits, to exercise to build that muscle. It is a muscle, you can build it. It's also important to just know 4 hours of singing in general for anyone, no matter how much they sing, how often they sing, is probably not very healthy, especially the type of music that you're singing. So just be mindful of your limits. For me, I think in the future, I mean, this past weekend was kind of unavoidable, but in the future, I think my limit is 2 hours max, because I want to keep my vocal folds healthy and I want to be able to do this for a long time in my life. So limit yourself, know your limits, work toward these goals that you're wanting. Don't just like hee-haw right into everything, because you're going to wreck your voice, at least for a period of time, and you definitely don't want to do that. You definitely don't want to hurt your voice so long that it makes you miss out on things, because you are going to have to take the time to let it heal. So that's it for this video. I hope that it was beneficial for you guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something from it, and that you really take these tips to heart and really take care of your voice, because unlike other instruments, this instrument is within our bodies, and it's really important that we take care of them in a certain way, because we can't just go buy another one. So take care of your voice, continue practicing, continue singing, continue writing, just enthrall yourself in music, and I hope that you guys have a wonderfully, beautifully blessed week. And until next Sunday, I hope that you stay creative, passionate, and hopeful. Bye. When the night comes